Oh,
Oh, can you click the "It's okay that I'm recording" button?
what?
It might ask you if it's okay that I'm recording. Is there anything on your screen?
This meeting is being recorded and I just punched OK.
Perfect. Okay.
Fucking A.
Fucking A. Oh my goodness. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Salisha Show. My heart is so overjoyed. My guest today, he's a film, television, and voiceover actor, but that is really the understatement of the century. He is an American film, television, and voiceover actor who has done over 45 television shows, 46 feature films, and 19 Broadway shows. 19 Broadway shows, not to mention the video games that he's recorded, not to mention the over 12 audiobooks that he's recorded. He has had a career that has spanned over 5 decades, and he's still going. Okay, he's famous for his role in Smallville as Lionel Luther. He was also in Scrooged, Gremlins 2, Payback, not to mention, and just like that, Lucifer, Fear of the Walking Dead, The Good Wife, Batman and Robin, Annie Hall, RoboCop, just to name just truly a few. Some of his many Broadway credits include, but are not limited to, Macbeth, Death of a Salesman, The Drowsy Chaperone, The Visit, The Visit, The Royal Family, Tartuffe, Whodunit, The Importance of Being Earnest, and was Tony nominated for Waiting for Godot and won the Tony for Love, Valor, Compassion. You guys, I had the pleasure of meeting him because he was our narrator in Once Upon a One More Time on Broadway. He was one of our first narrators before it got to Broadway. And on a personal note, his heart is so big. He's got the most playful spirit. He's thoughtful, he's funny, he's loving, he's caring, and he is a true storyteller. Please help me give a warm welcome to the talented and the lovable John Glover.
Okay, hello. I heard some of that, and I don't think I can stand up to that what you made of me.
John,
I do.
baby, you did
Yeah.
that. You did that.
I did all those things.
You
You've been
did.
outing for a long time. How'd you find all that out?
It's online. You've had a
Oh,
very full career. You've had a
yeah.
very full career. And I watched interviews of you interviewing with other people and hearing you say, like, oh, I haven't worked in a while. Yeah, because it was 2020. Like, you have worked the most consistently for decades.
5 decades. 5 decades, you said. You know, my birthday is August the 7th, which is coming up soon, and I'm turning 80. 80 years old. And I've never been 80 before. So I'm sort of worried about what's going to happen because I'm much closer to the end than the beginning. And both my parents died, my mom in 82 and my dad in 86. So I remember when I was with Liza when she was in her 50s or something, and she was about to
Liza
turn the
who?
age. Liza Minnelli.
The
Yeah.
real Liza Minnelli?
Oh, sure. She's swell. She's a one-on-one with her. She's right there with you. But she was so scared because she was turning the age her mother was when her mother died. So it was like, oh my, and so that's happening to me. And that was like in her 50s. This is, I mean, 80s.
John,
When I was younger, I thought 80 was like I'd be, around in a wheelchair or something.
the
But
opposite. The
I
opposite.
mean, I can, yeah, it's, yeah. And
The
I
opposite.
hike every morning around. I live on this beautiful mountain in Los Angeles. And I'm also lucky enough to have this beautiful apartment in New York too. So I don't even know that, but the drawback of that is that we can't get a dog because we don't want to carry a dog back and forth on an airplane and stuff. So we can't put, and we don't want a little teeny dog because we're gay guys and we don't want to be gay guys walking dogs.
Oh my gosh. You're so funny. And listening to you worried about turning 80, you've got more hair on your head than my husband. Like you're 80, your hair is thick and long and you are still working and like very actively still working.
I'm about to go to New York on Thursday to do another episode of Just Like That.
Really?
Yeah. I got two episodes in this thing. I did one before where I just kind of came on and whined, but they've written. I was trying. I play a realtor with this wonderful woman who plays. What's it? Oh, I've learned my. And the other thing is though, I can't use the word that poop word, because you'd have to edit it out. And then now I forgot what I was going to say. No, it's
going back
it
to
takes
like that.
Before years ago, I could read a speech, a really long speech, a couple of times and know it like that. And it takes me forever to learn lines now at grade 80. And I can't remember. I hear names that are familiar and I think, do I know that person? Have I worked with them? I remember Elizabeth Wilson when she was about this age. She said, John, that actor, have I worked with him? And I said, I don't know, Elizabeth. Did you? She said, I can't remember who I've worked with and who I haven't worked and
John,
how I
I
know
can't
them.
remember who I've worked with and I'm 30.
Oh, you're a beautiful 30.
Well, okay, I'm a little bit older than 30,
but we met on the, when I got that role in Once Upon a One More Time, the Britney Spears thing.
Yeah,
and I sing off key, so I don't do musicals. I mean, I don't. I mean, I've tried it before, and it's just like, and then I get nervous, and then that makes it even worse.
It's crazy
But
that you get nervous. You've done so much.
But I got this job, and I do because I replaced the guy that wrote and was the man in the chair in what?
In Simon Cowell?
No, the one the man in the chair in the I forget names.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Our original narrator?
Yeah, it was the man.
I think Simon.
No, but say the name of the musical.
It's Drowsy Chaperone?
Drowsy Chaperone, yeah. Okay. So, but I had to sing that Toxic song.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I was so nervous about it. But you remember, and when I came to when I got offered it, I think all the company was already there. And when I walked in the rehearsal room, and I had found a T-shirt, a black T-shirt that said "Toxic" on it.
Yes.
And I opened it up like that, and people were cheering. I mean, I had never been greeted at a first rehearsal like the way I was greeted then. And I don't know how many weeks I worked, but my husband, who got West Nile virus and was getting over it, was I started to go to rehearsal one day. I went down to his studio where he's an artist that makes beautiful lamps and things. And I went down to say, I'll see you after rehearsal. And he said, John, I need you to take care of me. I can't feel this. And we were going away to Washington. And that was the day I came to rehearsal and went to the director and the producer woman and told them the story. And I remember the director said, okay, John, you're on. And I told the story. And it was the hardest thing I'd ever had to do, to step out of that Broadway show.
I remember.
but people were weeping for me to
I'm
lose me.
weeping now.
I felt so valued. I mean, it was, and I said, I'll go to Washington, but I couldn't. I mean, because we couldn't go away. And then whatever, right before the Broadway thing, I was walking down 46th Street from Joe Allen to go to the theaters, and Selena, is that her? Celine?
Celine.
Celine. Yeah, she was on the street, and she said, John. And I said, hi. Well, hi. She said, I'm in the
Over time.
yeah, the show. And I went, oh my God. It's coming to New York. It's coming to Broadway finally. And I was right there. And I said, can you get me you gonna have an invited dress? Can I come and see it? And she said, sure. So I came to the invited dress, and I fell in love with the whole thing. I mean, I was up in my feet
You kept
dancing
bringing us
around.
these cakes and stuff. I'm like, he's gonna get us fat. Every Friday, you would bring us like all of these pound cakes.
Yeah. Well, that's because I did it when I'm in a show on the weekends. You know, it's the hardest thing. So I started doing it with our companies, and and the people. I mean, you were also loving to me, both coming and going.
Because
So I would go buy pound cake every Friday and take it to you. And I kept trying just during the previews, I knew you were changing things, and I kept saying, well, can't you sort of get me in and everything? But I paid 5 times for tickets to see Once Upon a One More Time, because I couldn't get enough of it. And
I want to say what you were just talking about, which was, okay, so you've done 19 Broadway shows. Once Upon a One More Time would have been your 20th Broadway show, which is insane. I don't know anybody who's done that many shows ever. But it wasn't because you chose love. You chose love over work. And how long have you been with your husband?
We're in year 31 right now.
Okay. That's incredible. Congratulations. That is incredible. You have had longevity in your relationship, longevity in your career. And so what keeps you going? How do you avoid burnout in either or both?
Well, you know what I feel about myself is getting to be somebody else when I get a job. It makes me very happy, because I'm not always happy about being me. So I'm afraid of things. I don't do this very well or whatever. But when I can be somebody else, it's like I come alive. And it's just like a whole investigation. I mean, Terrence McNally once called me up. He wrote a play called Lisbon Traviata. It was about Maria Callas. And Nathan Lane, it was his big thing that made him Nathan Lane. He played that part. And I went and read it, and the play, and the part was wonderful. But there was stuff in it I didn't understand. I don't know anything about opera. There was a part in it where I had to speak some Italian because of the song and stuff like that. And I didn't, and I'd worked with Terrence before in Love, Valour, Compassion. That's when like you said, when I won the Tony. But I was afraid of it, so afraid of it. And Terrence called me back up and said, listen, John, I called you personally to ask you to do this show, and 2 weeks have passed and I have not heard from you.
Oh my God.
And I said, Terrence, I'm scared to death. I said, Nathan, that I couldn't be as good as Nathan. I know nothing about
Terrence McNally.
And I told him the whole story, why I was so afraid of the thing. And there was this long pause when I finished. And he said, well, isn't it the things you're afraid of you're supposed to tackle? And I went, okay, I'll do it. And I did research on Maria Callas, and I fell in love with Maria Callas. And we opened in Washington, and I remember Jack O'Brien was there, and he said to me, John, you got the best notices I've ever seen for an actor to get. What did you do? and I mean, it's where the lesson came. It's just work. And work has kept me fired up for life because I get to live so many lives and
Yeah.
figure out, why people do what they do. It's just it's a whole lesson in my journey.
So it
I'm
comes
lucky enough to work a lot.
it
So
comes so naturally to you. When I see you on screen, you really do transform. And like my husband and I, we were watching, what were we watching? I sent you a video clip. You got eaten by like this alien dinosaur, and I was like, I know him.
I wonder what it was.
And I
I can't
couldn't
remember.
like you were so transformative that I was like, I couldn't recognize you. And I was like, Andrew, I know him. Play it back. And we're like, is that John Glover? And we sent it to you and we watched you get eaten on screen.
Oh, I can't remember what it was, but I remember when we had to do it and when we had to pretend that we were being eaten. So I remember shooting it. But
Amazing. When you get into a role, John, you completely immerse yourself, and it just feels like it comes so naturally to you. Like a lot of young actors, like myself, I'm like getting into a role and I'm like, okay, how do I become this person? And I'm doing all this stuff and I'm still like, okay, I'm schmacking. They can see right through me. When you are in a role, it is like, it is so believable. It is so real.
do you want to be? Would you be my agent?
I'm so serious. I'm not gassing you up. You really are transformative, which is hilarious because you also play a lot of villains, and in
Yeah.
real life, you are the most loving, level. Like, how can a person transform that drastically? How do you do it? Has it always come naturally to you?
It's escape. See, I escape me, and I get to be somebody else, and who just does it. I mean, the bad guys. They're great parts because they move they sort of move the story along. So that's a very active kind of role and everything that are really good, juicy, and everybody loves a great villain. You know.
Oh, we all do. Not this
Oh,
honest laugh.
do you know what I do when I'm out of work?
No. What do you do
I,
if you're ever out of work?
no. I knit scarves.
You do?
This kind of yeah. I sit down and I knit these
Oh
scarves.
my
I mean,
gosh.
see, they're great scarves too. And I have this Noro wool that's self things, and they're real skinny, but they're so. I'll bring. Uh, oh, you won't be there when I'm in. How long are you going to be in Oregon?
I'm gonna be there for a week and possibly
Well,
swim,
I'll be.
but
I'll be back. I know. I'll go back to LA on June 9th.
oh. Oh, I'll be home.
So,
I'll be home before
oh,
then.
okay. So I'll see you when you get a scarf.
Oh,
So I give them to people I like a lot. There's a guy that comes, every other weekend, and does a massage. And so I just said, here, I pulled out a bunch of scarves and I said, take two. He said, you should sell these. I said, no,
yes,
no.
like
I give
at
them
a
to
flea
people,
market.
people, if people that are like, I said, I gave some to the people in the one, it was given to
Where?
with the mother and the step, what
Oh,
show is
the
that?
Step Family.
Yeah. The,
At one
the,
more
the,
time?
yeah. I sent one to the grandmother, to the
Jennifer.
mother of the girls,
Yeah, Jennifer Samard, maybe?
Jennifer, and the one that was sort of in pale greens. I sent
Oh,
one to her too.
Tess.
She was, what, Tess?
Maybe it's Tess.
I think so. I don't know, but I give them to actors. I give them to friends, people that do good deeds. I mean, they're, you know, because everybody's got to keep their neck warm some way,
Oh my God,
but sometimes with, they don't get in the way,
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so I got a bucket load of scars to give to people.
I would love that. I'm like, you're such a multifaceted. And I'm happy to hear that you have like hobbies, because sometimes people who are always working, it's like, what do you do for fun? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like that sometimes. And you have these outlets. Okay, so I want to ask you, have you ever taken a role that you didn't like? Because it seems like you've loved everything that you've gotten to do. It feels like that, like watching your body of work and also listening to you.
Yeah. Well, I actually I wanted to do The Tempest. I think it was The Tempest, and it was during a pilot season. So the company wasn't the company that it could have been, and there was an idea about casting and stuff, and I dropped out of that. It was going to be at the Taper, and the Gordon Davidson, who was the guy of the Taper, uh, called me and tried to get me back, but I just said I can't. I guess my heart isn't in it. I don't know. So I don't know if I'll ever get up to role Prospero, get to play Prospero, because I don't know if I can learn it now.
Okay, okay. So what I just heard was the one time that your heart wasn't in it, you left.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Can we just pause? Can we just pause right there for a second? Because do you know how many of us in this world, probably also who are listening, take jobs that are not a good fit, and then we stay, and then we keep staying because we don't know how to get out of it, or if we can get out of it, and we feel like we have to stay there even when they're like being unhappy, which spreads poison, that spreads like wildfire. And what you're telling me is you weren't feeling it, so you walked away.
Yeah. But I did, yeah. Well, we were still in rehearsal and very early. I mean, I think we just done a reading for a couple. So I did. I don't. I mean, I don't. Um, I mean, I understand pain and everything, but I don't know when you get just to leave and sort of leave them in the lurch, where somebody's going to maybe have one or two rehearsals and then try and go on. But that was I've never yeah. Well, it was like right very very early in rehearsal that it didn't look like it was gonna, and I think I was right in doing it, but I mean it wasn't a favorite thing to do because
But
I
it
wanted that.
sounds like you know
Yeah.
who you are. You know what your soul needs, and you're very intuitive.
Well, I'm trying to learn what I need. Sometimes I get mixed up for just wanting to do it, and maybe I shouldn't. So I've done some. Well, who hasn't done that? I mean, I have a book that I go. It's called Answers in the Heart, and it's for every day of the year, and you get a little. It's a thing when I for addicts, that are good, and it sort of helps you get through the tough times. You just to think about how you are and what you're doing for yourself and what you can do for other people, and to say I'm going to do this and then not do it. It just points out those things that you make good turns and bad turns. This will take you down a road that maybe you shouldn't go back on ever again, or stay away from that road. That's not a good highway. No, no, but you learn as you go along. If you learn. I mean, if you keep making the same mistake over and over again, like they talk about nowadays, build those houses that are blown down by the storms that are coming more and more violent, and
Yeah.
you keep building houses the same way, and they're going to blow down again. So you don't you try and get something else that'll take
John,
you know
are you an addict?
I'm addicted to some things. I don't want to talk about them during this
Oh,
thing, but I
we
but
will.
I have, yeah, I've made some mistakes in my life, and it's got a it it screwed up some stuff, so I'm trying to keep living and be positive
And you
and go
are.
beyond it. Yeah.
That is something that is so loving about you. And I think you also do advocacy work and LGBTQ in that space as well, from what I've heard. And everything that I've ever known about you has always been so uplifting and loving. And so I don't know what you like the trials that you've been through. All I know is your amazing body of work and who I get to enjoy when I'm in the same space as you. And so
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is you're doing, keep doing it because you're touching lives.
Well, for years I had to hide. I was, I was a sissy. My dad taught me to, to hit a softball or a baseball. He had how to catch a football, and he taught me well. And I remember once I in junior high school, physical phys ed class, which I just hated because it took showers and stuff, and I didn't like to be naked around the other guys who were really athletes and interested in it. And but he threw a football, and I ran ahead. I caught it and everything. And he said, "Glover, what time is it?" And nobody knew. And he said, "Glover, go run in and check the clock." So what I knew was he thought I was going to be his little phys ed star,
Oh,
and I was so far from that. And I remember during once there was Fred Advocate and Alan Rabinowitz and me used to play together and everything. And in high school, because they graded the what class you were going to be in by your report card. All the
right.
A people will be C.
Yeah.
So I would go up and down because when I was in the dumb class, I would be the smartest, and when I was in the smart class, I was the dumbest. So, but Fred Advocate was what year was he was in the dumb one, and I was in the dumb one that year too. But I was getting better grades than everybody, so I was on the list. They put the list when you're at the
Honor
top. I
roll.
can't honor roll. I was on the honor roll, and in the homeroom. And he went around the school, and I was when they did the thing. There was a lot of girls were on the honor roll, and I was the only boy.
The only boy?
I was the only boy on the honor roll. And Fred Advocate went around school that whole day saying, in our homeroom, we didn't have any boys on the honor roll, and John Glover was on the honor roll. And it broke, and I thought this guy used to be my friend. I mean, what? I mean, he just humiliated
Wait,
by
was that
calling.
a bad thing?
I was in the homeroom. I was the only boy who got on the honor roll. He went around telling everybody that in our homeroom there were no boys on the honor roll, and then he'd say, "And John Glover's in our homeroom." Now that is calling me a girl, like a sissy. You
Oh,
see?
oh,
Yeah, that you get it. So
I
that happened to me a lot. Yeah, and a lot of the jocks were just
wait, they were
you
making
know
fun of you. Like, sorry, it took my brain a second to clock that they were making fun of you for being on the honor roll. Like, that does not compute for me. That's
well well
who
he
can make fun of somebody for being on the honor roll?
well but this listen, this was in like the 60s and the 50s, the late 50s, and
Yeah.
it is before, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be gay. I mean, I went to summer stock, so my first thing was with a woman. I mean, I was going to get married to a woman I went to college with and everything. And then I went to summer stock and was an apprentice, and so I was with like a lot of actors from New York and everything, who were openly gay people. And there was a guy there that I really liked a lot, who is a gay guy, and we had a relationship for a while. And so, but even so, with roles and things. I mean, I remember from Emily Mann, who's a director, and she cast me in this role of a man who comes home for Thanksgiving, and he's an openly gay man. I mean, like what you'd call the faggot kind of.
Oh,
man, that he was very,
being
very,
flamboyant.
open. Yeah, the thing. And we sort of played around with it, and I was brilliant doing it. I, and 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 then I thought, wait a minute, I'm too good doing this, and if I do it and everybody sees it, that's what I'm going to end up be doing for the rest of my career. I'll be a gay actor. So and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be an actor who was capable of playing a gay role. But I tell you, now there was one of the plays. I think it was called Some Men by Terrence McNally, and I played a guy who was a drag queen, and I had so much fun
Was
dressing
it
up.
so much fun?
I hired somebody. Carol Kane was in the thing about the witches. What's that series? It's still running.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, but there was a makeup person, and I said, Carol, I need to put on makeup to play this drag queen, and so she turned me on to him. So I went to Guy, and I did my own makeup and everything, and I think Adam was about to divorce me. I was having so much fun being a drag queen. He said, "I will be so glad when this production is finished because you were just." But it was it was freeing. I could be. That's why these other roles that I play are because it's not me, it's this guy. Bunny. His name was Bunny.
honey.
I'll show you pictures if we're ever in the same. I got some great pictures of Bunny.
What what do you want your legacy to be at the end of your career? And you're not anywhere near the end of your career. I know we started this interview, you're like, I have more years behind me than in front of me, but John, you have so much life in you. When you get to the end, what do you want your legacy to be?
Well, I wanna die on stage during a performance.
Oh my
So so
God!
so people say, "Oh my God, I saw John Glover die."
Oh my
Why not? I
Why
mean, it's
did
what
you
I
go into comedy? You are a freaking comedian. That's what you are. You are. You want to die on stage. Oh my God. What do you, what else do you want them to say about you after?
just what a swell actor he was. And I know that you say, everybody loves me, but there are those who don't. But I would be, sort of, no, what's the word? Just, yeah. Int- I don't know.
I love you.
Just as an actor, an actor who loves to act and is most of the time pretty good in what he does. I don't know.
I would say 101% of the time you are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. All
You're
right. Thank
amazing.
you.
And
Thank you.
can I ask you like what you've learned about yourself? And then here's a two-part question, and I'll re-ask it. What you've learned about yourself through your life, through your long career and through your life, and then what advice you would give to somebody.
Just to be about being honest and saying what's. With so many people, especially, my Adam, my husband said, "What are you thinking? What are you thinking?" And there are a lot of things that I haven't said to him that I'm sort of afraid to say for like hurting his feelings or complaining or whatever. But I think maybe the fact that I am like some people. I used to go to Roddy McDowell's for dinner parties, and I met him through Lee Remick, who also, I've worked with a lot of leading ladies, but Lee Remick was the only one that allowed me to be her friend. And through her, I met Roddy, who knew everybody and had these dinner parties that you could not believe who you were sitting next to at one of these dinner parties. Just anybody you can think of. And Roddy was loved by so many people. But just just try and speak truth. And I've started, and something about the fact that I am 80, and there's so many, like these people that had, and he would take a picture at every dinner party, and then he would next see you, he'd give you the pictures, so you have a whole bunch of stacks of pictures of you being with these people. And there was a couple that were also there, and they said, can we use some of the pictures? We're trying to do this book about Roddy. And I got a thing from him saying, we've lost the pictures. We've lost the pictures. We're moving, and we can't find the pictures. And I had something of Roddy's or whatever. And with a rather snarky note, I said here, and wrote them. And it wasn't, it was sort of like, I understand. I just wrote sort of like a snarky note, and with the thing. It was a nice thing from Roddy's, but it was. And I had a chance to see them this coming weekend. This is why this is on my mind. And but I gave my ticket away because I didn't want to see them there, because I don't know whether they saw it as a snarky note or if maybe it didn't read like that, but I was embarrassed to see them, so I'm not going to the event. I bought a ticket, but I just gave my ticket to somebody else because I didn't want to see him. But I just what I'd like to be able to do is just say, the pictures don't, the pictures don't really matter, because I've got some other ones. I don't have all of them, but I barely ever look at them because I was there at that moment. And the pictures just are something to reminisce about, but the event was what was important, that I was a part of what Roddy gave out.
Can't you just tell them that? If your heart was in the right place, why would you have to be embarrassed?
Well, somebody else is using the ticket now, and I can't say I want it back. So I'm not going. But anyway.
I can't imagine anybody who would not love you and who would not.
I could make a little list, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I am just so in awe of you and all the things that you've done and all the things that you're going to do, and just know
I
that
hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Are you kidding me?
I just want to, yeah. But it's this, because I can't. Well, but that's why this, and there's also a movie I got offered about a motorcycle man. It's up around Ken Keeney, Kane, but anyway, he sort of sits around, and in a film, I called the writer director and said, listen, I can't memorize this, so I can't learn this whole script, but because it is a movie that you could go back and but to be on stage and go up is like
It's the worst thing in the world. That's the
I know.
That's the worst.
Yeah. So the theater. So I'm going to try and stick to TV and film, but nothing live.
I feel the same way, John. When I've gone up on stage, I'm like, somebody help me! No one can help you. And then the whole cast runs to the wings to watch the train crash, and they're like, oh, and you're on stage stranded. Like, what do you do?
Yes, yeah. Well, you don't go to Joe Allen that night.
Don't. Oh my goodness. No, I am so excited for you. And also, you can take any movie you want and be like, I'm 80. You're going to have to give me the lines, but I'll be
Okay.
And I think that they would understand.
Okay, good.
I'm so happy to talk to you. I wanted to ask you about your hair too, because how do you keep it so thick and so long? Like,
I let it grow. I guess I got my hormone or whatever or
Steve?
whatever, it must be a family thing, you know. I mean, here, this is it. I mean, I don't
Oh
do
my
anything to
gosh.
it. But what it
Thick.
is it's not but I could do that man bun, and I'm afraid because when I did an episode on just like that a year ago, and I was starting to let this hair I was starting to let it grow, but they sort of cut it off, and and then this motorcycle movie which is done after I've done the show, want my hair long. So, but I sent them a picture, and they said, the hair, you can keep the hair. We're going to trim it up a little and make it look a little nicer. But I thought, they could do it like a man bun and something. And
Yeah.
then those girls could make sort of fun of me for wearing a man bun. I'm going to maybe point that out to them, that maybe they could sort of give me, because I'm sort of playing an asshole. So, so so he's a man who only thinks about himself, and thinks everything's funny, except, for on his point of view, but he doesn't see Seema, that's her name, Seema. Oh, Seema, my one and only. But can I be really blunt with you?
Yeah.
And she said, well, I don't know. And then she says to her assistant, you maybe get out. You might want to leave right now because this could get a little ugly.
Say what
so,
you say.
so he's sort of known for his insensitivity.
Oh, I
This man.
see. In the
Yeah,
character
the
context, yes.
character. No, this is the character I'm talking about. He's an asshole.
I
I hope not to.
agree.
I hope my. But a lot of people would call me an asshole. I mean, Adam has called me an asshole several times.
You're not an asshole. I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to meet you. I'm not meet you. I can't wait to watch and just like that. I started watching it when it first came out, but then Big died and I was like, I need a break. I was so upset when Big died on the Peloton. I stopped watching, but knowing that you're going to be up on that screen, I'm like, maybe I'll give it another chance cuz
Yeah, yeah. It's like a machine gun, right? And the park, right when we go out in our park for our hike in the morning, there's a woodpecker that's on the telephone pole right next to us, and you can hear him going brrrr, like that. Yeah, it's amazing. So that's what you felt like.
oh my god.
Brrrr.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you so much. I love you so much. How can people find you and follow you?
There was already a John Glover on Instagram, but on Instagram I would say, but there's just a the before the John
You're the
Glover.
John Glover
Now
on
it's not
Instagram. Great,
it's
actually.
not it's not pretension. It's just because I couldn't get John Glover, so I just put the John Glover. It's not the John Glover.
But
No,
honestly, no, it is. 19 Broadway shows, you're a Tony Award winner, 45 television shows, 46 movies. I think if you want to be the John Glover, the real John Glover, the official John Glover, you can be whoever you want. You've earned it.
well, I'm not going to make it a capital T. I'm just going to keep it the plain old, THE, John Glover, with a capital J and a capital G. But you know what the guy at Names and Knees, they're the first to go. But the guy at Joe Allen,
Names and knees.
I have a nickname which is J Glow. Isn't it cute?
Like J-Lo, except J-Glow.
J Glow,
That's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
cute.
So you can call me J Glow if you want. Who was it? Uh, the blonde actress who's so good. Um,
Kerry
uh,
Washington. Oh, no, sorry.
no,
Carrie Bradshaw. Wait.
no, a movie. She's a movie star.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Jessica Lange.
Oh, Jessica
When
Lange.
when we were doing Godot, it was John Goodman, who's JG, and John Glover, and she came back to see John Goodman. Well, and she kept going, John, and I'd say, what? She'd say, no, John. I say, well, we call me J Glow, and John Goodman we call Goody. So you could hear her going around, Goody, J Glow.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Thank you
all
for
right.
taking the time and for sharing your stories and your wisdom
It's
and
my pleasure. I
and
like
your
that you
heart.
think I have wisdom.
You do. I know you feel like an 11-year-old at heart, but you have
Yeah.
a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience.
Thank you so much, you sweet, beautiful woman.
Oh,
And I'm so glad you're happily married. Give him a big hug from me, will you?
I
Okay.
absolutely will.
And hopefully I'll see you some point this summer, because I'll be back and forth.
I would I would
Okay.
love that.
I love you. This has been so much fun talking to you.
You
Yeah.
too,
All
John.
right. Okay, my dear.